Hello Pisces, my name is Paul and this is Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And if there is anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here's a 10 of Wands. I feel like there's kind of a feeling of being overwhelmed right now. Right, there's kind of this this very heavy energy on you. It may be some pressures from outside, maybe pressures from inside as well, but I feel like it's starting to wear on you. Let's put this into some context. All right, let's see what else is going on. Well, yeah, we do. See, we've got this. We've got the fire, and that we've got the earth here, right? A lot of fire and a lot of earth. And then, yes, of course, there's the air that kind of gets in the way of that. So it feels here like we're trying to do the very best we can, right? But there is a lot of pressure here. And it may be leading to a kind of mental disconnect, right? That maybe we are being expected to do more than what is kind of humanly possible, right? Well, then we have some major arcana here to say maybe we can transcend what is humanly possible and reach something beyond, right? Very interesting set of cards here today. Let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And this is one card randomly selected from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we'll set that here. We'll put Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, right there on top of that. Now, there is a rather simple story about the name of that duck, Mr. Tao. I worked with a very wonderful group of Vietnamese people at a robotics company a long time ago, 20 years ago. And during our lunch hour and our break times, we'd all go outside behind the warehouse and we would play this game. I don't know if it's a Vietnamese game, but it's with this little shuttlecock. It's a springy little something with a feather at the end. And we would just kick it back and forth to each other, almost like hacky sack. But there was about 20 of us, and we were in just a huge diameter circle in the parking lot. And we would kick this thing, we'd launch it up in the air, and we'd have to, you could use pretty much any part of your body to just keep it off the ground and keep it going, right? Well, there was this one older gentleman named Mr. Tao. He was the comedian of the group, and he was the best player too. And he was, well, gosh, he was probably in his 70s or 80s at the time. So I feel like that's a good name for our duck there. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. Let's look at these energies, okay? We do have our Trinity of Major Arcana. And the Trinity is a unity, so I feel like spirit's in the building, right? There's a lot of reassurance just right here. Of course, we're trying not to touch that 9 of Swords, right? We do have our fire. Don't have any water energy. I think the water energy is maybe what's being brought in by this High Priestess. We have the air, and we have the earth. Okay, we have three earth cards here. We have on the horizontal plane, it is the fire, becoming too much fire, and then a disconnect. But on the vertical axis here, we have a 2, an 8, and a 7 of Pentacles. So I feel as if we're letting this pressure get to us. We're starting to feel like we are not achieving as much as we should be achieving, but when in reality, the expectations are completely unreasonable, right? So we're, I think, trying to shift our perception of things so that we don't let this overwhelming pressure from, I don't know if this is a work thing, a career thing, if it's maybe school, or if it's just in your personal life, friends, family. These overwhelming and unreasonable expectations making us kind of feel like we're not doing enough. But what we need to realize is that we are doing exactly the right amount, because if we pushed ourselves any further, we would be making mistakes, cutting corners, right? So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on you, and I feel like it's leading to a bit of a disconnect. Okay. Now let's talk about the Ten of Wands a little bit. This is the extreme of the fire energy. This is as if we are out here doing this difficult work, breaking our backs doing this work, but we don't even remember why we're out here, right? We've lost the connection with that true purpose, probably why there's no water energy here, right? There are no cups here. Because we've lost the heart. We're so overwhelmed with this fire energy that we may just want to find a way to escape, right? Maybe that's what the Seven of Swords is about. Just us trying to get out of this. And so we, maybe it's a mental escape, right? Maybe we're still here in this fire, but our mind and our heart is elsewhere. Maybe the Seven of Swords, which is about kind of distraction, maybe we want to be distracted, right? Maybe we want something to take us away from the pressure that we're experiencing in whatever situation this is. Okay. But this is a temporary solution. Just if we're distracted mentally or in our minds, in our imagination, doesn't change the reality of the situation. What we're looking for is actual change. Two of Pentacles here at the top. Okay. We want to equalize some of this energy. Okay. So we need to find a way to flip this around. Instead of all of this fire energy, we want some water in the situation here. Okay. So really, the Eight of Pentacles here that I'm kind of feeling is the idea of not to push yourself beyond your limits, right? Don't try to rush and do things kind of beyond our capacity, because that's when we're going to make mistakes, right? But now I'm feeling something else with the Eight of Pentacles. I'm feeling like this is really trying to create enough space. It's almost like we're trying to air gap ourselves. We're trying to create a little bit of room so that we can heal, that we can recover. If you're burning the candle at both ends with a Ten of Wands, there's no time for repair, for rest, recuperation, right? Restoration. To replenish our stores of energy, creative energy, vital energy, physical energy. Yeah. Because this fire energy really is what is fueling the work on the physical plane. So maybe there is this idea here of not to push yourself further, push yourself less, right? Ease back a little bit on the throttle and take some time, some space to restore yourself. Yeah. Because the Eight here is very much a card about the appropriate nutrition, right? If we're growing a garden, if we're trying to produce something, we need to give it the right nutrients, the right amount of light, water, vitamins in the soil, or whatever you do. I don't have much of a green thumb. It's my wife that's got the green thumb. So I feel like if we're really trying to get the most out of ourselves, out of this situation, out of our work, out of our creativity, or whatever we're doing, we need to give ourselves the right amount of water and sunlight and vitamins, nutrients, right? And I'm wondering if this pressure maybe is the pressure you put on yourself. the expectations that you put on yourself. With the Two of Wands, it's almost like you're trying to do the work of two people. Right? We see the two central wands there. It could be that your work environment or your family or friends are putting a lot of pressure on you, but ultimately you're putting the pressure, you're taking their pressure and putting it on yourself, right? So we're taking responsibility for that. And here in the recent past, we have a Nine of Wands, strength. Right? This was your commitment. This was your resolution. This was your promise to do this work. Whether you took an oath within yourself, in your spiritual practice, or in your community, whether it's your business contract or just your agreement to say, yes, I'm going to do this task, this project, I'm going to build this thing. Wherever we made this promise or took this oath, this is your work ethic, so to speak. You know, because you agreed to this, because you committed to this, you're now going to follow through with it. I don't think there's any changing that, but I think with all of this pressure, we're losing sight of why, right? We've got this rather nasty air energy in both of these places, 7 and a 9. So we have the 7 of Swords. We have to do an affirmation card. We're going to use the language of flowers. Anytime we get a 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 of Swords, we're going to do an affirmation card. The Swords are troublemakers, right? Every card has its light and its shadow, but there's always a little bit of trouble when the Swords kind of come out, you know. So we'll do one affirmation card. And I do see the 7 of Swords as being kind of we're being willingly distracted. We want something to take our mind off of all of this effort, all of this work that we're doing, right? And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we do need to take our mind off of this, but we also need to take our body off of it, our energy off of it, right? We need to rest. And we can't do that by just the mental distraction, right? If anything, that might just make it worse. Let's try one affirmation card. We have the African Violet, spirituality. It's time to connect with what you believe. Well, that's pretty obvious. Thank you. That's what we're saying we're missing, right? We're missing that connection of why we're doing this, that spiritual connection. So the air energy that we're looking for, not so much the distraction, we want the centeredness again. We want to reconnect with this Ace of Swords, not get lost in these other smaller swords that are here and there and everywhere else. That's not helping. It might be a temporary relief, but it's not helping us reconnect. Okay. I think that High Priestess that we have at the end over here, that's helping us reconnect. I think this is bringing the water energy in. This is the messenger directly from Spirit, bringing you what you need. And I'm more than happy to move over to the path of the Serpent now. I think we exhausted these cards, right? I think we know what this is about, but let's look over here. Right, look at what the High Priestess is bringing down to us. Passion, energy, vitality. This is health. This is a robust card with this Leo energy, this lust or strength card. This is the general energy on the path of the Serpent. This is what Spirit is bringing to you. This is what the High Priestess is bringing as a gift, right? Robustness, health and vitality, strength and power. This is what we need. This is now, we're reconnecting with Source, with the reason why, with our purpose, right? And we're reaching up and we're just going to pluck our happiness right out of the sky. We're going to pluck our star right out of the vault of heaven like a jewel, right? It's the power, it's the feeling like I can do that. I can pluck my happiness just like that. Okay, so this is a big difference from the 10 of Wands. This is exhausted. This is just like pushing ourselves to the absolute limit of our physical energy. Not really even knowing why or what we're working for. This is saying there is no limit to our physical energy. I feel just as strong and as vibrant at the end of the day as I did when I woke up. You know, and that sounds really good. That sounds good to me. You know, and this is the feeling like we can conquer anything. And to do that, yes, we need a little bit of this Mercury energy too. This is also a messenger, right? This is more of an intellectual message, I guess, whereas this is more intuitive. And it could be that we really need both. But this is in the position of our environment, this magician energy. So with Mercury in the environment, this is a sly little devil here, this magician. The magician is capable of making people see what it wants them to see, right? So this is the way that we can present ourselves, present this energy, the way that we can almost glamorize the world, right? Just kind of make the reality what we want it to be. And it may seem a little underhanded. There is a bit of that in any kind of magic, right? If you think about a traditional kind of illusionist, right? The magician, performer, there's always a little bit of deceit there. There's always like a little bit of resentment at the end of the show, which is like, I know you played a trick on me. I know you're showing me an illusion. I know something's not right here, right? But yet we kind of enjoy it anyway, you know. So I think this is a way of relating to the environment. This is it's the card of timing, too, right? The position that we have here is the way we're going to use this general energy to, one, preserve ourselves. We don't want to get back here to this 10. We want to be creative, let's say. Let's think with our imagination. Let's come up with something innovative. I'm not saying lie, cheat, and steal. I'm saying let's figure out a way to get all of this activity done without sacrificing our own health and wellness, right? Maybe we need to implement new procedures, new systems, a new schedule, right? Let's be creative here, right? Let's create what we want, right? Let's build up this reality that we want to see. Well, we've got to have the intelligence, the craft, the cunning, and the communication ability of this magician energy. And I think we need to preserve our self, our health and wealth and happiness, right? And we can rely on this. You have to be smart. You got to be intelligent with it, right? It's creative thinking. It's thinking really outside of the box. And that's part of the gift coming down from this high priestess, right? Maybe you're coming up with something innovative to solve this problem over here, not just for you, maybe for future generations too. If this is a work thing, if this is something maybe in production, manufacturing, or whatever it is. Well, the first thing we need to do is slow down, create a little bit of space in our lives so that we can come up with new ideas, right? So that we can innovate, so that we can figure out what kind of show we're going to put on, what we want this reality to be. I think we're a lot closer to true happiness than we think, to true spirituality. We got to get past this Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords really is a nasty, nasty card in this position. This is what we don't want. This is our fear, worry, and concern. And this is really some very detrimental internal monologue. Right? This is what we tell ourselves kind of on repeat. that keeps us in a 10, in a very depleted and exhausted 10 of Wands. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you have this kind of chronic fatigue. You're just exhausted just thinking about it, right? I mean, it's, to me, there's a huge gap between a 9 and a 10 of Wands, right? I mean, it's just one number, but to me, it's a huge distance between these two. I feel like this was the day where you could wake up in the morning and jump out of bed and be ready for anything. But now it's just, we're depleted, spiritually as well as physically, mentally, and emotionally checked out. We need to get that back. I think Spirit is bringing in the opportunity for you to realize true happiness. Okay? If anything, we need the water. We need the water back. We're not going to get it with a 9. You know what? With the 9 of Swords, we got to do another affirmation card. I feel like today's the day we just need all of these affirmation cards, right? We should just do a reading with nothing but the language of flowers. Well, that's the one. Belladonna. Oh, okay. Haven't got this one before. Belladonna, silence. Listen more and be quiet, right? Be quiet. That's kind of what we are telling ourselves, I think, with this 9 of Swords. We need the belladonna. We need silence. We need to stop talking that way to ourselves. Stop the mental dialogue that keeps us here. It's time for a change. We're ready for a change. We're kind of looking up at the sky, longing for change, because we feel like we're not producing anything. We're working and working and working, 24/7, but it's almost like we're not producing anything. We have nothing to show for it. Now, I don't just mean in terms of a job or your employment or your career. I just mean energetically, right? Creatively, spiritually, whatever realm this is taking place. Maybe you're retired. Maybe this is the creative work, right? Maybe you're a magician or a tarot reader or an artist, a musician, a painter, I don't know. We need the silence. We need that belladonna. We need to listen more, and we need to be quiet. We need to listen to the intuition, to what this message is from Spirit. We can quiet down. We got silence here on this 9 of Swords. Perfect. Great. Now we have to open ourselves up to listen to the message coming from Spirit. This is the High Priestess. This is showing an increase, I think, an increase of this energy here. And it's with this energy that we are going to be able to achieve our happiness, that we're going to get that water energy back. That we're going to get pleasure and rest, right? We're going to be able to rehydrate. And we have the 10 of Wands. That's pretty extreme. It's pretty parched. Yeah. So this is an increase of that good spiritual energy, right? And it's time to connect with what you believe, like the African violet here says, spirituality. And that's what this High Priestess is all about. Let's look at the mystery card. What is it that the High Priestess is bringing us? Thank you, Mr. Dow. Okay, this is the point of the reading where I want you to try to connect with these images and with these energies. I want to tap into Source, tap into this High Priestess energy. What is it that we're after? What is it that we are going to achieve? Let's get a little bit of this lust or strength card activated within us right now and say, what is it that we are going to reach out and grasp? What is the jewel that we're plucking from the heavens? Is it an Ace of Cups? Is it an Ace of Wands? Right? Is it the World? Is it the Star? Maybe it's the Star card. Is it the Moon card? Is it the Pisces Power card? No, I think I think I want to see not a card that says, oh, there's more work to do. We always get that, right? When we get an Ace of Cups. Well, it's the beginning of it. You got more work to do to really materialize it, to really fully realize that. No, I want like a 10 of Cups, or at least a 6 or a 9 of Cups. I want all the water. I don't want just a little drop. I don't want just a little sip. We're parched. We need to rehydrate. But an Ace of Cups would be good, because if you're dehydrated, you don't want to chug water, right? Don't they say you just want to take small sips, So it makes sense if this is going to be an Ace or a 2 of Cups. Not what I want, but I'll switch the camera. If you want to put your final answers in the comment section, go ahead. And then we can reveal. I'm going to say 10 of Cups. Thank you. Yes. Yes. So it is absolute pure joy. This is finally the realization of all of your efforts. This is the happiness that is so close. It's almost like we don't realize that this is just the next moment over. We don't have to start from the beginning. We don't have to get the Ace of Cups and then work our way through to get to our happiness. It's almost there, and it could be that's what the message is from Spirit with this High Priestess energy. It's really coming in now. All of this water energy, all of your efforts are being repaid. The 10 of Cups is pure joy. It's having the physical, visible, tangible results of your efforts. So it's like we got a 10 of Pentacles, and this is how we feel about it. You're getting all of your rewards, and it's so joyous and blissful and restful, right? This is the time where everything, there's just tremendous success and joy and love and pleasure that you really should go rest in bed, but you just want to be there and enjoy it, and you want to be like at the party, It's that kind of feeling. So this is all the water energy. This is all the satisfaction, all the joy, all the pleasure, and all the rewards. All the happiness is yours. And I think it's just right around the corner. Okay? This makes me happy. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. Okay. New readings for Pisces every Monday and Thursday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. I want to thank you for watching this reading all the way through until the end. I appreciate you. I want you to know, Pisces, that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.